The movie starts with a picture of a family that will spend the Christmas holiday in Thailand. Henry is the head of the family. He lives with his wife and 3 of their children. At this time, they were in the plane, and Henry's wife doesn't like to fly. She was scared, and her son makes fun of her because of this. So, when they get to Thailand, they stay in a beautiful hotel. Families who come to visit stay here. In front of them was a beautiful beach, and the scene was very nice. When he gives them the gifts the next day, they like them. The whole family was happy, and then they all went to the beach. They all went into the water and had a good time. After that, 2 days went by while they lived there. Henry gets a call from his office on the 3rd day, and he is told that one of the office workers is being fired, and soon, his name will be known. Henry says, "We're here to spend the holidays, and our kids are happy." He goes to play with his kids after he says this. Later, he sees a group of birds flying together toward another place. The earth starts to shake all of a sudden, and a lot of big trouble is coming. Later, a big wave comes in from the sea, destroys everything, and then moves quickly. It had taken control of everything. Everything had seen water and damage. In fact, it was a sea storm called a tsunami. This place was hit by it, and there was damage everywhere. So she couldn't move with the water running, and she was looking for her family. She tried to find them by calling, but she couldn't find them anywhere. People and their bags were being carried away by the water. She starts swimming quickly towards her son. In the end, fate gives them a chance to meet, and they do. His mother was near the tree bushes, and he was wrapped up with a pole nearby. After they've hugged each other, they cry a lot. Then, over time, they start to move along with the flow of water. Then, they stopped at a place with a little water. Now we find out that Lucas's mother has a deep wound in one of her feet, which caused her to bleed. She doesn't tell her son, though, because she doesn't want her son to feel sad or worried. His mother is holding his hand. "So I don't want to lose you, but he says nothing bad will happen to me. After I save him, I'll just come back. We should help those who are in trouble." His mother was after him, though. He puts the little boy or girl on the tree. He tries to put his mom on the tree as well. She tried to climb up the tree, but she couldn't. Her wound was very painful and was bleeding a lot. She was having trouble climbing, and it was hard for her. But Lucas finds a way to get her up in the tree. Now, 3 of them were waiting for the rescue team to come and save them. Later, we see the terrible scene going on around them, because there was damage all over the place. After a while, people from the nearby village come and say they've seen them, and start taking them. When they get to the hospital, they see that many people have been hurt. The whole hospital is full, so there is nowhere to sit. On TV, it was said that there had been a tsunami there. That has made things bad everywhere, and it has hurt a lot of people. Lucas's mother was in a lot of pain, so she asks Lucas for a painkiller, saying, "I'm hurting." Later, he goes to the store to buy the painkiller, but he can't find it. After cleaning her leg, you put a bandage on her. She starts to throw up because when the water swept her away, along with the water, pollution had also left her stomach. Then a nervous and sad-looking man came in. Lucas then goes to him and the man shows him a picture of his family, and asks me about them. Then he realizes that everyone has lost his or her family. To find their families and bring them back together, on a piece of paper, along with their address and the country they are from. Later, Lucas comes across a hurt boy who was alone and looking for his family, and this was the child of the man who had asked Lucas for help in the first place. By showing the child a picture of his family, he helps the child find his family again. The father and son were both very happy to see each other, while they cried and hugged each other. Seeing how much they love each other makes him miss his dad, too. Later, he goes to where his mother was being held. When he gets there, though, he sees that his mom isn't there. In her place, another person is lying on the bed. Because of this, he starts to worry a lot. A nurse comes to him when she sees him crying. Lucas tells her that my mom was in the bed, but she's gone now. Later, the nurse asks Lucas if he knows any of his relatives' phone numbers or names, who we could call, and please do so. They could take you somewhere else from there. I forgot his phone number, though. When the nurse hears this, she puts a sticker with a number on his shirt. Lucas was very upset and started crying because he thought his mother had died. "So, I can't find her, and she may have been buried." Later, we see the hotel where Henry and his family stayed. Here, we see that Lucas's dad wasn't dead but was still alive, though he was very hurt. He gets up and looks for his family. When he can't find them, he calls them. There was no one there, so it's clear that he doesn't have an answer. Now, the helicopters that were taking people away after they were saved have arrived. But Henry doesn't want to leave because he is determined to find his family. He doesn't want to go anywhere else without them. He gets to the hotel and looks for his family, where he was staying, and he was hurt pretty badly. He falls after being hit by something. He calls his family again while he is lying down. From where the roof is broken, both of his kids can start to see him. They were still alive, and now 3 fathers and sons are back together again. The kids run up to their dad quickly. Henry tells them, "You can take this helicopter, my sons. Lucas, I'll come back after I pick up your mom and brother." His youngest son asks, "Dad, I want to live with you, in a sweet way. I don't want to go, because I am afraid." But Henry tells them what's going on and sends them back. He then starts to look for his wife and son, Lucas. It turns out that while searching, it was night, but he didn't know where his son and wife were. He was hurt pretty badly. Later, when he is driving, a car pulls in front of him. When they see Henry hurt and bleeding a lot, they are scared. They take him to the camp where people who had been hurt were being cared for. There, he meets a man who was sitting around without any hope. He has also lost his whole family. "My family was in the sea when I was at the hotel. Since the tsunami hit, I couldn't find them there." Henry also tells him that "My wife and son have both lost. I'm also finding them, but I don't know if they're still alive or not." In fact, they were all people who had lost their families and were sitting there because of how dangerous the tsunami was. So no one knows if their family members are still alive or not. They were sad because they missed their families. Their faces showed how much they hurt. The boy in front of Henry says, "I have the phone and have saved its battery. If my family is still alive and tries to get in touch with me, I can get in touch with them." Now, Henry gets on his phone and calls his dad. When he talks to him, he says, "Lucas and my wife went missing in the tsunami, so I've come to find them. I can't find them. 2 boys with a team have already been found. I won't give up looking for them. I'll find them and bring them home." While he is talking, he gets upset and starts to cry. He calms down because of the boy, and after some rest, Henry takes the boy with him, who had given him the phone so that he could call his wife and son. Now we see Lucas. A nurse walks up to him and shows him his bags, so he would know which bags belonged to him and his family. When he sees the luggage, it doesn't belong to any of his family members. Now, he was taken to a room where there was no one else but his mom. She wasn't dead, but she was still alive, and when Lucas sees his mom, he feels calm and gives her a hug. But his mother's condition was worse than it had been. Lucas sits with her and says, "She had oxygen in her mouth. To promise you won't ever leave me alone. Now, Lucas has found out that your mom really did need surgery, so we moved her away from there. We got the wrong report about her, so we can't tell you anything about her. Your mother needs surgery now. After that, it's likely that she'll be fine." Henry and his friends start to look for their families there. They go to each camp and hospital one by one. People were kept there, but they haven't been able to find their families. Now, Henry goes to the hospital to check on his wife and son. Lucas's mom tells him, "My son, go get me some water. I'm pretty thirsty." So he goes to get water for his mom, where his dad was also, and they were close. But they can't see each other, which is too bad. Now, Henry starts going to the place where his wife lives, but she was hiding behind the curtain, so he can't see her. So he thinks his family isn't here, and that's where he starts to go. Then Lucas, who was getting water, came back. When he sees his father, he knows him from behind. When he sees him, he starts to run toward him. His father gets lost in the crowd until then. In fact, there was a very big group of people there. Lucas starts looking for his dad everywhere, but he can't find him. At the same time, the truck with the children who had been saved came. There were also Lucas's brothers, and they got off the truck. Lucas goes by behind them, but neither of them can see the other. Since they can't find their families, they got back in the truck and drove away once more. Now, Henry starts getting into his truck, too. Everyone in the family was close by, but they can't see each other. Even though he has looked for his dad a lot, he can't find him. When he has had enough, he starts to yell for his dad. This voice is heard by both of his brothers. They saw Lucas, and when they got off the truck, they start going straight to their brother. Three of the brothers give each other big, happy hugs. They see their dad coming from the front a little later. He knows this because he's seen them and heard his voice. Now that they're back together, they're happy. The person with Henry who was helping him find his family. He tells the driver, "We should leave now, since Henry isn't coming with us." Because he has found his family, and they go to Lucas's mom. Her health wasn't very good. When she saw her husband, she told him that my health is bad and I probably won't make it. Henry tries to calm her down and tells her not to give up because she will make it. "We'll pray for you, and we'll always be a happy family together." As they talk, they start to feel sad and their eyes start to tear up. She was taken to surgery later. Another woman had just finished her surgery. She tells her, "I'm doing fine now. I have to use all my strength one more time, so I can find my family, and neither should you. Your surgery will go well." And after a while, hers began. She was thinking back to the time when the tsunami hit. She was worried that so much damage was being done and that we couldn't stop it. Because it is true that people are weak and helpless in the face of nature. On one hand, she was getting surgery, and on the other, her family prayed for her health. So, the whole night went by, and when morning came, Henry goes to his kids and tells them that your mom's surgery went well and she's doing fine now, and will be going home soon, son. And the next day, a man will show up. He went there to take the whole family with him. Now that they're on the plane, Lucas goes to his mom and tells her, "I'll always be with you, Mom, as long as you're with me and we don't split up. Do you remember the first child we helped? He has also found the people he loves." When his mom heard this, she told him, "My son is very good and brave. I'm proud of you and can't believe we're back together again." After she says this, she gives Lucas a hug and starts to cry. She finds out later how bad the view outside the plane is. Everything was destroyed, there was destruction everywhere. Henry prayed for the man as well, that he finds his family, and they helped Henry find them. He has also given him his mobile phone. He hasn't found his family yet, so they are still missing. As their courage, kindness, and love brought this family back together. In the same way, they wanted everyone to get their own family, because everyone loves his family and would do anything not to lose them. We know that our family is very important to us. Without them, you have no life. Without family, you have no value. You should also be kind and care about other people. Always be there for other people. All of this is what we've learned from this family. This really happened, and the event happened in 2014. Nearly 3 lakh people died when the earthquake and tsunami hit. People think it was the worst thing that ever happened in the world. No matter how powerful and strong a person gets, he is weak and small compared to the world around him. So we shouldn't try to change nature. We shouldn't think about it at all. It means that we shouldn't change it to suit ourselves. We should just accept how God made things and live with them. Because if we mess with nature, we won't be able to accept how God made things. And if we're not thankful, the worst things will happen, and the movie ends with this.